True. That's why we have to sit down and speak about the black and the brown. That's why we have to sit down and speak about the black and the brown.
Let's go. You dancing, they can't control you. Your skin is not only dark.
That's why we have to sit down and speak about the black and the brown.
You dancing, they can't control you. Your skin is not only dark.
6, 5, 1.
Goes like a trophy when Naomi's walking. She need an Oscar for that pretty dark skin.
I'm looking like a little egg today. Me with my sickly little self. You guys hear that cough? Yeah. But I'm still here for you, so appreciate that. What's up, guys? It is your girl, Queen Versachi, and I'm back at it again with you guys. Now, before I say anything, guys, like I always say, subscribe to the channel for more from me. Leave a like and a comment. Surprises are coming soon, but leave a like and a comment on what you want to see next, and make sure you follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is about to be right here. You guys can obviously tell that I'm not so glammed up. Obviously it's 11-12 at night here, and like I've had a week, like with the amount of assignments, the way like you can hear me, like you can see the difference. Like I'm not just like not wearing makeup, like I'm tired, like I'm stressed out. But I was like, you know what, I want to get another video out. It's been a week. I'm back, and like BKCHAT London season 4 is continuing with episode 2 that dropped yesterday, as in Wednesday. I like how they incorporated Lucas, part of season 1 OG cast. As you guys know, last week I mentioned I don't necessarily like Lucas as a person because of his past display of character from what I saw in seasons 1, 2, and 3. Now, first thing I want to say is Lucas has changed. I was not expecting him to be this kind of leadership figure. I don't know if it's because he's the only OG that's there, but like I don't even think that matters. Like I think that he's brought on more of like a leadership role. You know how that alpha male term was just being thrown around willy-nilly, always calling himself alpha male. Meanwhile, he's just, the way that he speaks to people for no reason, even when he disagrees with people, he'd always just be like, shut the fuck up, you're talking trash, and like he'd actually like, get active and say like, I'm really about to get active on you, yeah, like my accent. But like the way that he would go up in people's faces, that's not an alpha male. Just to quickly dead that, because the way he was acting for, that's not what an alpha male is. An alpha male, this is the definition: the alpha and beta principle categorizes men into 2 distinct groups depending on their social traits, and not only in a group but also towards the opposite sex. For starters, the alpha man, the real man, a man's man, a warrior, a stand-up guy. It doesn't matter what you call him, he's a leader. A leader means you're a pack builder, that you bring people together and you lift them up. You are a leader as in you're the dominant figure, but you don't shout people down, belittle them, insult their views, insult them as people unnecessarily, because there's never going to be, you don't have to put people down to bring yourself up. He's a leader the other guys look to for motivation, inspiration, and often with a hint of jealousy, like when you, but that's not the alpha male's issue. He's the man the other women want without the intention of being the center of attention. The alpha male is persistent. That is what an alpha male is. That is what a pack builder is. That is what someone who really wants to drive the conversation forward, really better people in the circle. That's what it is. From this episode alone, his whole demeanor has changed. The Lucas, whoever's been a BKCHAT London fan from day 1, back in season 1 with Ariette, Azraya, Nissy, all those people, you know, Lucas was not like this. Now, I don't know if it's because he wasn't passionate about the topic, but Lucas, he let people speak. He hushed other people and said, don't interrupt. He was defending like the unpopular opinion that was amongst the guys, and like I was really taken aback. I was like, wow, Lucas has really evolved. Now he's 31, I believe, 31 or 32, so like obviously he's probably gonna be different than how he was in 2017 or 2016 or whatever, but like I was honestly really happy to see that. First things first, Yasmin, someone needs to get this girl to humble herself. Like, just the first example, Yasmin looks like a coloring book. I didn't think anybody could look more foolish or act more foolish than Esther. Not that Esther looks foolish, but can present themselves more foolishly than Yasmin. We're not talking about what she said yet. We're gonna get there, but we're not talking about what she said yet. We're talking about the way that this girl is coming to the table. This girl looks like a coloring book. She cannot decide what color she wants to be. She's rainbow here, rainbow there. Might as well be pride flag. This girl with her red hair, her gray lips, her blue eyes is enough. It's not every time we need to just be doing rainbow, arc-en-ciel. And like, it's just way too much. You know how, you like, just for example, I'm not comparing beauty. I'm not comparing like levels of beauty, who's pretty, who's not. But you look at someone like Catherine. She has makeup on. She looks so natural. She looks beautiful. She just looks so real. She doesn't look artificial. Obviously, Yasmin looks like she's had work done. But like, that aside, it's just a lot. And like, she said she's turning 27. Someone in the comments put almost 27 and you're still wearing blue contacts. It's just like, she's just trying to look away, like so much away that she's not. And then in her confessional, she has like those blue eyes again, and then green or blue hair or something. And I was like, it's not every time, but hey, if that's your style, that's just my own. You guys are here to listen to me. She made this comment about Shay that was like, I'm looking at his body language and I'm hearing what he's saying. I'm really deep in it. And all I'm getting is he wants to. What Shay said in the episode was, you're 27 and you're saying you don't want a broke guy. And like, you should know better than that. Like, that shouldn't be what matters to you at 26. And like, obviously I don't agree with what Shay was saying, which I'll get into later, but all he was doing was just talking and looking at her because she was the one he was talking to. How in any of that does that translate to he wants to fuck me? He wants to have sex with me? Like, this girl needs to humble herself because she really thinks that she's up here, but she needs to bring it down here. Humble yourself. Your head is getting too gas and it's episode 2. You can't come in with this kind of energy. Please, I would expect it from someone else who's been here. But like, no, like the way that people are dragging this girl, like I'm just going to be referring to her as coloring book sometimes, just to be petty. It was so funny to just see Lucas looking around at the cast, just like, yo, what happened? This place went downhill fast. Like, he really was looking at like the caliber of what people were saying, because it's clear people like Lonnie, people like Yasmin, people like DC are chasing clout. That's why they're here. They're here to just promote their face, promote their nonsense, promote their IG probably, and just to make noise. I don't even think BKCHAT used to shout out people's Instagram, but like, let me just say right now, DC added nothing to this conversation, but that's not unexpected given his behavior last episode. I haven't even mentioned the question yet. The question in the episode was, should you be pursuing a relationship if you don't have money, like if you're broke? My opinion on that is the same as Catherine's, like to a T. As she was talking, I was literally thinking the same thing. It's that having money is subjective and it's relative to your class, like where you live, what type of life that you're accustomed to. For example, she gave the example of Drake, different celebrities, Chris Brown, all these people. Compared to them, we have no money. Like, we're not millionaires like that. And then compared to them, people like Warren Buffett, Jeff Bezos, Oprah, they have no money. What are we? We're just like little ants. Like, that's what I'm saying. It depends on the level of where you live. Whereas people below the poverty line, we are rich, we're wealthy, or like people in developing countries, we are living the life compared to them. What Lucas said, which I also agree with, is that like a relationship is an investment, and sometimes that is a financial investment. One of the #1 causes of divorce is financial strain that you can't overcome. That's a consistent fact across the board. You cannot go into this relationship with this childlike ho-hum mentality of, oh, love will get us there, love conquers all. I'm sorry, I believe in unconditional love. That's great, that's cute. However, in this life and in this society, you should not be pursuing a relationship. That should not be one of your priorities. That should not be on your mind. No one's saying you can't be lonely. No one's saying that you can't want love. No one's saying that you can't start building a connection with someone while you're working on growing your own bag and chasing your own bag. But having a relationship and pursuing a relationship with a man or a woman should not be on your list of priorities, because you have your own issues you need to deal with. Part of a relationship is helping one another. How are you supposed to be helping your partner if you can't help yourself? That's just the fact of the matter. And Lucas was saying that's literally the real. That is the real. You have to be able to have money. A relationship is an investment. This is real life. Obviously, you see people in poor communities who are like raising children who are together, but they have no money. But they're still struggling, but they're still able to take care of each other in their own way. It's relative to the level you both are at. And like, you have to like position yourself. Obviously, like someone said, everyone wants an upgrade. Of course, nobody wants to aim for someone who's below them or who they believe is below them. You have to level your priorities. You have to level your priorities, and like, if you don't have money, that shouldn't be on your mind. Sylvia said that first off. Why are you looking for a relationship if you don't have money? Go and get a job first, and if you have a job and you're still not making money, save that money, invest that money, and then when you actually are able to sustain something with someone else, have that conversation. But like the way Lonnie was talking about, oh, you don't deserve pussy, First of all, the relationship is not pussy. Like, it's way more than that. It's not just dates. It's not sex. They're talking about you won't pay for the dates, but you want to be equality. And JS was talking about that. Oh, this is, you ladies really pick and choose when you want this equality thing to happen. No, that's not what this is about. That's not what that is. Catherine made a great point. This is not a discussion about equality. Equality is even now at the table for discussion because women died. Women literally crawled so we can run and talk about these things. They literally scooted across the ground so this can be a topic of discussion today. We weren't even considered people back in the early 1900s, late 1800s. Women could not vote. We were not considered people. In Bible times, women were not considered people. These are the things. When we start talking about equal pay, start talking about paid maternity leaves, when we start talking about things that matter, the Me Too movement, that is equality. Talking about who pays on a date and who has money in a relationship and who doesn't, that's not what equality is, so leave that. That's for another day. Yo, when Yasmin said I only pay on his birthday for him, that's mad. Like, that doesn't make sense. How a relationship which comes around once a year is when you're paying for a guy for anything. Like, you're not paying for getting him gifts, you're not showing him that you love him, but like with gestures, that's garbage. Like, who wants to be with someone who's that selfish? Like, how can a relationship be 364 days a year of you just receiving and one day you give? Like, in this whole thing, that's the person who doesn't deserve a relationship because you're not well. Like, your elevator does not go all the way to the top if you're thinking like that. Can I just say the makeup on this cast is horrendous as well. Like, other than Lonnie, Sylvia's is okay. Other than like Lonnie and Catherine, everyone looks scary. Nina, like, I'm not talking about what she said, but her eyebrows are too dark. Sylvia, like I said, she looks fine. Like, her makeup is just there. Like, it's not wow, but like, I felt like Lonnie and Catherine's makeup really complemented them. Jasmine was the worst. Yasmin, I think Jasmine, coloring book, whatever. She was by far the worst. DC was talking about his shoes, and then Castillo's like, yo, his trainers are dead. I cried. That was so funny, because like, I doubt those shoes were $2. You're really boosting, talking about you got it like that, and then you're knocking Lonnie for saying that she doesn't have it like that, but her shoes were 150 pounds, and yeah, you're lying about your Nikes. Anyways, it was honestly, like, this topic was way more interesting than the last one, which I was happy about, but like, I felt like it was pretty straightforward. Like, you really shouldn't be considering a relationship if you don't have money. Like, get yourself together first, right? Like, that's what's important. With Shay really means well, but like, you can tell that he's inexperienced in life and that he has that naive, immature, young, like, youthful thinking. And Lucas was quick to be like, yeah, I used to be like you, but like, you gotta grow up and realize that's not reality. Like, it's not reality to just think my love and desire for you will carry us through our relationship. First of all, that initial attraction and love and passion you have for your partner, that initial feeling, like that honeymoon phase, that dies. That's why they call it a honeymoon phase. Not saying the love dies, but that passion, you're not going to have that for 60 years, for 50 years, 40 years. In most marriages don't last that long these days. Talking about love will get us there, huh? Money. You need to have something as a safety net. You gotta have something to protect yourself. That's just common sense. But like they say, common sense is not so common. Ladies, at the end of the day, here's a message of common sense and wisdom from me to you. Going for guys with no money is setting yourself up for failure. First of all, if you don't have money, like Sylvia said, if your credit score is below 500, sort yourself out. Girls too, like guys, girls, going for guys with no money, it is not worth it. You're setting yourself up for failure. You are going to run into issues. I don't know what the mentality is today, but relationships are not just supposed to be things that fill up dead time. Like, no, you need to actually be able to sustain yourself in a relationship and be able to potentially sustain another person. The whole thing about Lonnie's tattoo, however, when she was talking about how she's sharing a story about a guy who had no money and it was a bad experience, and that was the guy who she ended up actually getting a tattoo for. This isn't about the question. She tattooed her vagina for this guy. That's your own fault, and that's very stupid. Why would you ever first of all, why would you ever get someone's name tattooed? First of all, why would you get someone's name tattooed on you at all, unless it's like a relative or maybe your spouse? Like, I wouldn't do that. And it's like, and why would you even do that if you're not committed to them? Like, if you're not married? Like, for me, that's kind of a bond. If you were to do something so reckless, it makes more sense in marriage, but still not that much sense to me. I wouldn't do it. That's just, girls just don't go out and do that. It's not smart. But all in all, yeah, if you don't have money, don't be in a relationship. This episode broadcast a lot of uselessness. I like how Castillo has like no chill and he was like, yo, those shoes are dead. Lucas, I can tell that he's probably, I think this is going to be his last season. I think that after this season, maybe BKCHAT's run its course. I don't know. But like, I don't think he's going to come back after this. because it seems like he's growing and like he's trying to move on. JS and DC, I can tell, are gonna milk this for as much as they can, and like Shay, I just really hope that he matures and learns from like what like Lucas and some of the other people were saying. And yeah, so that's it for this episode, guys. I know it wasn't that much, and like next time I'll definitely, like, I'm slowly getting better, so like I'll be bringing more content to you guys. I know I took a week break, but I really needed it. School's been getting hectic, you know, it's midterm season. But yeah, that's it, guys. There's really no more to say about this. Like, if you don't have money, be single until you have money, and then you can start having that conversation and start entertaining those thoughts. That's just it. Thank you so much for joining me again, and Queen Versachi's out.